Good Saturday morning to you all. We have another Watchmen update. This is a big one, friends. We have United Healthcare, that massive corporation that does healthcare insurance. They stole $8.7 billion from the United States government and from Medicare specifically in 2021 alone by making up fake diagnoses and billing Medicare for them. Gee, we were looking for fraud, and it looks like we have found it. And that's not coming from Doge. That's the Wall Street Journal. And we got a new Wu flu. Like literally starting in Wuhan again in bats. Because, yeah, we're going to do that again, apparently. We got an egg layer update. Millions more. Sorry, friends, I wish I had better news for you on that front. We got prison riots in New York State, as the prison guard union goes on strike. The National Guard has been deployed. It's a whole thing. We need to talk about that. Olive oil update, dentist shortage, and we got major Pacific military drills like we haven't seen before. We got that and a whole lot more to talk about. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade. And yes, I did fix the lampshade. Some of you are like, there's a crease there. There's a crease there. If you have something that you'd like to share with the rest of us, make sure you use the word update somewhere in your comment that gets it to the right place. And we do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They help people who have retirement accounts to get out of stocks and bonds and into gold, silver, platinum. There'll be a link at the end of the video for you to find out more. Let's get right into it. Indiana. 2.7 million egg layers culled just in the last 2 days. Indiana, 2.7 million. Now that makes the 165,000 more culled in Ohio seem kind of trivial, but put them together and we got almost 3 million egg-laying hens put down in just the last 2 days. Is this going to impact your store shelves? You better believe it will. It's not getting better, friends. In fact, it's getting worse still. The Trump administration is not all over this like white on rice. They need to be. Because egg prices are going through the roof. Soon chicken prices will go through the roof too. If this doesn't stop, young chickens, meat birds are going to be going up significantly in price too, because some of these layers are laying meat birds, right? Now, we got different breeds and everything out there, but this is impacting the layers that put out meat birds. All right, we got a new coronavirus with pandemic potential discovered in the wild in Wuhan, China. Yeah. In bats and pangolins. Just let me know down in the comments if this sounds at all familiar. Pangolins, bats, Wuhan. Yes, friends. It totally looks like 2020 again, like we're repeating the news or something, but this is totally the news from yesterday. We'll let you know once we know more about this, how deadly, what the potential is here, but apparently it is in the animals, and some people in some place in this world need to stop eating raw, weird things, okay? Cook your food and stop eating pangolins, okay? That's two things you can do to avoid ending the world. We're looking at you, China. Apple has now blocked end-to-end encryption of pictures and other secure data in the United Kingdom after the government there demanded a backdoor be installed so that the UK and let's just say other countries around the world can tunnel in through the encryption to get at people's data. Apple was like, heck no, we ain't doing that. And so what they did instead was they were like, we'll just take the encryption off all of our Apple products in the United Kingdom, which is the principled way of doing that. Unlike them, Google and Android, they just totally bowed down and basically did what they were asked to do. When you have security and you create a vulnerability, a backdoor, it can be exploited not by that government, but it can be exploited by anyone who knows of the vulnerability, and it can be exploited by people who know of the vulnerability. To purposefully de-encrypt and purposefully make less secure our data is not the role of government under any circumstance. Making us less secure. Like, if a government is making you less secure, you really should question the why you have a government there in the first place. You might want to change it. That's we're looking at you guys over in the UK. You might want to do something about that. All right, the Department of Justice here in the U.S. is launching a Medicare billing investigation into United Health Group, where they trained medical billers to add billions of dollars worth of phantom diagnoses that were optimized to increase government payments. $8.7 billion in 2021, and we're looking at northwards of $30-40 billion of fraud against Medicare. Do we need Doge? Well, this isn't coming from Doge. This is coming from the Wall Street Journal. They had an independent investigation going on to look into this. And when they heard that the Department of Justice is also looking into this, they panicked and dumped it out on their newspaper before the Department of Justice could, scoop them. You got to wonder how long they've been holding on to this. Well, they definitely were holding on to it before the election. And how long have they been sitting on this? For political purposes. Might look bad if one company, we're not talking about all the rest of the companies, just one company stole $8.7 billion in just 1 year. That's not a good look. How can we balance the federal budget? Well, we can cut out the fraud. If it's $8.7 billion there, how many other companies are defrauding the federal government too? Get rid of all the dead people on the rolls of Social Security, and we're going to be on our way to cutting $1 to $2 trillion from the federal budget. All right, Brad says, I was one of the ones without power yesterday in Republic, Missouri. There's 1,600 of us here. Ours came back on 8 hours later. Luckily, I have a fireplace that was already going hot and my preps all around me. No big deal for us. Thank you, Steve and the Watchmen. Stay vigilant. Also, it is -2 degrees actual air temperature this morning at 5:32 a.m. Republic, Missouri. Cold, cold, cold. Mama Wolf says, NYS, or New York State, Malone at my location. State corrections officers are on strike. Malone Prison, the inmates have taken control of the prison. That's not how prisons are supposed to work. We're not supposed to have the prisoners taking over the prisons. Now, with what's going on with the woke agenda and stuff like that, it sometimes feels like the inmates are running the asylum, but that's supposed to be a figure of speech. You're not supposed to actually have prisoners taking over the prison. Per my boss's daughter-in-law, who delivers mail to the correctional facility. And looking into it myself, I was like, that sounds a little crazy. Let's see what the news says. New York has suspended in-person visits to 42 prisons after protests and unrest. So apparently there is something. So the guards went on strike, and the state ordered the National Guard to go in and basically take over their jobs. But it was too dangerous for the National Guard, so the state ordered all the workers back to work. Too dangerous for the National Guard. And you wonder why these people are on strike. That might be why. They're ordered back to work today. So we're going to see how that goes today. if they all show back up at work, if they all refuse to go back to work. And they're not just asking for more money. I think that's part of it, but mostly they're asking for safety considerations. They're asking for a safer environment to work at these prisons. But the New York state is just too concerned about prisoner safety and not enough about worker safety. We've seen that one before, haven't we? Watchmen, who asked for their name to be withheld. My son is an active duty Marine stationed in Okinawa, Japan. All branches of the military there are conducting exercises on evacuating families back to the States. That's kind of concerning. This is his second time in Okinawa after leaving the mainland. This is not a normal thing. My speculation is that the military doesn't do this kind of things unless there's a plausible threat. I'm a veteran myself of 12 years and have never heard of this or seen this before. Major concerns with a major confrontation with China are out there for sure. Taiwan is on the horizon. That conflict there, I'm a little surprised it hasn't happened already, but they know that the U.S. military is going to start becoming more competent and more deadly the longer they wait. So they're preparing to invade Taiwan, but at the same time, the U.S. military is preparing to defend Taiwan. So there's going to come a point where it's more advantageous for them to move quickly than it is for them to wait any longer. This is from Tanya, West Yorkshire, UK. As for the shortages in Aldi, I said I would report back on the olive oil issue. Olive oil is supposed to be reappearing on the shelves. The oil from Spain has still not returned to the shelves, but the Italian ones are fully stocked. So the Italian olive oils are out there in the UK, but not Spanish ones just yet. There was good harvest in both countries, so we should be seeing olive oil from those places reappearing on store shelves, and we should see the prices of olive oil to start coming down. We'll keep watching that and keep you updated on that for sure. Ashley in Central Oregon. It took me 3 months to get in to see a dentist. When I got to my appointment, there wasn't a hygienist in that day, so I wasn't able to get a cleaning, only x-rays and an exam. Luckily, I didn't have any issues, so I can wait. Because when I scheduled my cleaning, the earliest availability was 7 months out for a cleaning. Like you said, Steve, get your medical and dental care done as soon as you can. Appointments are getting harder and harder to get. As for my daughter's dental appointment, they called and said they were overbooked, so I'm just waiting for them to call with an availability. It's been a month already and still no word. This is from Cherry. 65-cent egg upcharge in a restaurant in Las Vegas, New Mexico yesterday. Las Vegas. I don't know why they say New Mexico, because NM is not where Las Vegas is. It's in Nevada. You and I know that. Some of you already started typing that comment. What? What do you mean New Mexico? That's what they have here. Sorry. Probably a typo. Yesterday, plus undrinkable city water here via a microbe contamination. Free cases of water are being distributed. If you think your city water you're safe forever, you aren't necessarily. Things happen. Water mains break. Contamination happens. They find lead pipes. All sorts of stuff happens. Flooding happens, and it gets into the water system, and they have to purge the system. Sometimes water just runs out because you got Democrats in charge or whatever. You need to be stocked up on water, friends. If the power goes out, it's only a matter of time before your water goes out. And people don't remember that. But if the pumping station's power goes out, usually they have generators and some backup power. But once that power runs out, you may not have water. It takes a lot of power to pump water. Tree of Life says, Costco chicken doesn't fill me up anymore. I went to a farm in Europe. a relative's in-law and had home-raised chicken. A few bites and I was completely full. There is a difference. The food that we're being fed, friends, is no longer food. It is so chock full of medications and stripped of nutrition. We need to be talking more and more about what we eat and getting healthy. That's the biggest prep out there you can do. The best way to be prepared is to get into shape. I've been working on that myself, losing some weight and moving in the right direction myself. But we all need to be moving more and more in that direction. If you're not healthy, it doesn't matter what else you have. Caleb says, one of the big farmer supplies stores here has gone out of business. PV Mart has been around my entire life. This is sad. UFA is the other one, but they are not my favorite. This is a very sad day. Now, PV Mart has gone into bankruptcy protection, and they've initiated the shutdown of 90 of their stores. It's mostly in Canada, from what I can tell. So farm stores shutting down because, you know, just like Facebook doesn't want you to learn about canning, anything that makes you self-sufficient makes you a threat. And we need to remember that. These people do not want us self-sufficient. They want us dependent upon them so they can force us to do whatever they want us to do. Golden Z says, for people considering rolling over money in an IRA to Genesis Gold, keep in mind that it's a process. I didn't ask them to write this, but they're just sharing this with you. Remember, it is a process. The IRA company that your money is transferred out of will certainly have requirements for safety reasons, such as security signature guarantees. These can take more time than you might anticipate. If you want to get out of stocks, don't delay, or you'll be twiddling your thumbs watching stock prices go down and gold go up while your transfer is in limbo. What they said is true. It's a process. It takes time to transfer your assets from your IRA, 401k, to get them over. It takes, from what I gather, like about a month, up to like 2 months, depending on how many steps your previous retirement plan has in place. You got to purchase things. They got to get shipped to the vault. All that kind of stuff all takes some time. But in order to purchase the gold, silver, or platinum, you need to get that money freed up from your IRA or your 401k or your Canadian retirement plan. And so if you want to get moving on that, you want to start that process. If you want to find out more about that, you can talk to Jonathan and his team. They love to chat with you, answer your questions, see if it's a good fit for you. But now is the time to do that, friends. With the stock market still hanging on there pretty good, it is set up like it could come crashing down anytime. So, you know, make sure you're involved in your retirement plans and that you have a good plan and you're executing on that. All right, friends, if you want to find out more about Genesis Gold, there's a link right there on the screen. You just tap on that, fill out your information, and they will get in contact with you and answer your questions. No obligation to move forward with them if you're just getting some information. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up there. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report out.